Let's move on to a tiebreaker, guys. And if you're a GM for a week and you had a choice between Nick Foles of the Eagles, who's on fire right now, and RG3, who would you play this week, Dan?
Obviously, Robert Griffin III is a more talented quarterback and is probably going to have a much grander NFL career. But I got to say, this kid, Nick Foles, 16 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. That is an absurd, absurd ratio. The way RG3 protected the ball last year was one of the greatest things about his rookie season. He's not doing it quite the same this year. He's turned the ball over a lot, both with the interceptions and the fumbles. If you protect the ball the way Nick Foles is doing, you're going to just win a lot of football games. And so I look at that 16-0 ratio, and I say that this week I would rather have Nick Foles the way he's playing.
16-0, that's like MVP type numbers if you protracted through an entire season. Go ahead, LeVar.
It was a backup. And I think the justification with sometimes having success is because people don't really know how to plan and prepare for you. And maybe that's why RG3 had a great year last year. Maybe that's why Kaepernick had a great year last season. There's no real way of knowing how true that may be, but I know this. RG3 came in as a franchise caliber quarterback. I don't think that's changed. I think that he has shown a steady progression as the season has continued on. And for all the fierce and maybe harsh criticisms that have been connected to him this season, I still think he's that player. He has shown the ability to make plays. I don't really know what happened in the second half of that Minnesota game. If they'd have kept playing the same way in the second half that they did in the first half of that game, I don't think they just win. I think they blow out the Minnesota Vikings. But one reason or another, they did not approach the second half the same way that they did the first half. And there you have a loss that takes place. I'm taking Robert Griffin III because I feel as though his explosive ability, whether it be in the passing game or being able to run around with the ball, is a very rare mixture of what you would get out of a player.
Since our colleague Mike Wise isn't here, I guess I'll have to be the third voice in the tiebreaker. Mike, wherever you are, we miss you, buddy. Thanks for communicating. Anyway,
that was a
I'll take. Right, it's hard to go against 16-0 Foles, but I'll agree with you, and I'll use this stat. Basically, because the Eagles are 31st ranked in pass defense, I think RG3 has steadily progressed in the passing game. He's starting to look a little better against some bad defenses, granted. But I think that you look at that stat and that matchup that bodes well for the Redskins going this week. So I'll take RG3. But I think that's a toss-up.